Once upon a time, there was a beautiful orphan princess named Tundra that lived in a castle far away from the city. Princess Tundra lived the perfect little life, or at least most would think that. She was very beautiful, the envy of every young woman in the country of Latar. When she was just a young girl, the princess found herself without both of her parents. The king and queen set off on a journey and were captured and never returned home. It was then that the butler, Joseph, became the caregiver of the princess. Now Joseph did what was expected of him. He made sure the princess was taken care of and had what she needed. But the princess found herself longing for a normal life. As she got older, the princess realized she would soon be the ruler over the country. Princess Tundra was turning very lazy and thought she shouldn't have to do a single thing. After all, what princess should ever have to lift a finger? As Princess Tundra was getting very lazy, this made Joseph angry. He decided that she didn't deserve to have this luxurious life handed to her like that, so in his moment of anguish, he decided he would lock her away. One afternoon, Joseph coaxed the princess up to the tower on the far side of the castle that not even the maids ever went to. Once there, he tricked her into staying in the room while he went to get a glass of water and locked her in there. Princess Tundra couldn't seem to figure out what was taking Joseph so long to fetch her water, so she decides to go find him. Only she couldn't get out of the room. The door handle seemed to be stuck. She wiggled the handle and nothing. Thought the princess. She began to call out for him, but all she heard was her own echo. After several minutes, she came to realize that she was trapped. Now, Princess Tundra isn't one to accept defeat, so after a few moments of being angry and upset, she begins to ponder and plot her plan for escape. She decides that she will get comfortable on the bed to help her think. The events of the day apparently had exhausted her because after a moment she was in a deep sleep. As she was sleeping, a fairy appeared in her dream. The fairy was dressed in a silky pink gown with wings and a wand and everything. The most beautiful fairy ever. The fairy began to tell Princess Tundra that in order to escape the castle, she would have to find the secret key and flee to the city where she could live a normal life. And just like that, the fairy disappears into the night. Princess Tundra slept right through the night. When she awakened, she found a tray with breakfast right inside of her doorway. The Princess Tundra had never been so relieved to have food. She was sure she was going to be trapped in this room forever and just rot away of starvation. While the princess is having her breakfast, she starts to remember her dream with the fairy. She ponders, is there really a magic key somewhere? Where could there possibly be a magic key in this one room? She looks around the room with nothing more than a bed, a dresser, and a mirror, and of course the window with a chair by it. This is ridiculous, she thought to herself. There's no such thing as a magic key, and even if there was, it couldn't be in here, she huffed to herself. She paced around the room absent-mindedly looking for a key. After all, what else am I going to do all day, she thought to herself. After a while, she decided to just sit by the window. Her eyes gazed across the forest and rested on the city that was off in the distance. She thought to herself, if I can just escape, I'll leave the castle and move to the city. I'll start over and no one will know me. She began to softly sing and sway, and it didn't take long before a bird appeared on the windowsill. The bird began chirping along to her singing. When she finished singing, the bird said, "You have such a beautiful voice." Princess Tundra thought she was imagining something, as a bird can't really talk. The bird repeated, "You have such a beautiful voice." Again, the princess thought she must be getting ill to be hearing a bird talk. The princess decided to go lie down. The bird flew in the window and landed on the bedpost and said one more time, "You have such a beautiful voice." On the third time, the princess responded, "You're just a bird. You can't talk." The bird giggles. "I must be talking because you're talking back." The princess just sighs. "Well, at least I have something to talk to help me pass the time now." The bird didn't understand, so the princess explained to him that she was trapped in the room and couldn't get out. The princess suddenly remembers her dream where the fairy appeared and told her to find the magic key. She tells the bird about her dream, and they begin talking about where the magic key could possibly be. As night begins to fall, the princess drifts off into sleep again, and the bird settles into a corner on the windowsill. As the princess sleeps, the fairy visits her again. Tonight, she tells her that the magic key is hidden within herself. Morning breaks, and the princess is awakened by the bird chirping. Another tray of food has appeared by her door, so the princess starts her day by eating. The princess tells the bird about the fairy telling her that the key is within her. What could that possibly mean, the princess ponders to the bird. The day goes by with the princess and the bird speculating on this magic key within the princess. Night falls again, and the princess is fast asleep with the bird watching over her from the windowsill. On the third night, the fairy visits the princess once again. Tonight's wisdom from the fairy. The magic key is hidden within yourself. You just have to believe in it. The princess suddenly wakes up. She whispers to the bird, I got it. I think I know where the key is. I just have to believe I can do it. I just have to believe that I can escape. The princess very quietly approaches the door with the bird perched over her. She gently wiggles the handle, and the door opens. The princess is excited, but remains quiet. The princess and the bird sneak through the castle, making their way out the door to freedom. The princess and the bird begin their journey to the city to start their new life, and they lived happily ever after.